Hi guys, my name is Sai Shravan and this is your ultimate guide to centering in CSS. In this video, we're gonna look at 7 different ways how to center things in CSS. First up, we have centering using auto margins. I have a body here and a div inside the body. The objective of this is to center this div within the body. I'm gonna give some styling to the body. I'm gonna give a midnight of 100 view height and a background image so it looks pretty. And for the div, I'm gonna give a width of 200 pixel and a height of 200 pixel with the background image and a border radius and a box shadow. Now let's center this within the div. Let's center the div within the body using margin auto. That's it. If you just put margin auto, it gets centered horizontally. Now, what you need to observe here is that setting the margin auto only centers the div horizontally and not vertically. Let's see why. If we inspect this, we can see that only the left and the right margins are being added and the margin top and margin bottom are not. Margin bottom is 0 pixel and margin top is 0 pixel. So setting margin auto only works horizontally and not vertically. Next up, we are centering using flexbox. I'm going to use HTML from the previous section as it is a single div within a body, and CSS will be similar as well. For the body, we have the midnight and background image, and for the div, it's similar to the previous section. Now we want to center this div within the body, so using flexbox, I'm going to create a flex container for the body using display flex. Now in order to align it vertically, I'm going to use align item center, and in order to align it horizontally, I'm going to use justify content is center. And there you go. We created a flex container for the body, and within it we're centering the div horizontally using justify content and vertically using align item center. Next up, we have centering using grid. I'm going to use HTML, same as the previous section, and styling is the same as the previous section as well. So now let's enter this purple color grid within the body. To create a grid within the body, I'm going to use display grid. What this does is creates a grid within and it only has a single cell. This entire thing will be only a single cell. I'm going to use align item center. Align items, what it does is it centers the content within the grid cell vertically. And to center it horizontally, I'm going to use justify item center. What justify item center does is centers the content within the div, within the single grid cell horizontally. There you go. Now we have centered a div within a body using grid. Alright, let's see how to center some text. In the HTML, I'm going to have a body with a heading called Hello World, and a paragraph with similar Emerson text. By default, text in CSS is centered to the left. It's not centered, it's aligned to the left. I'm sorry. Now let's add some CSS to it. The body, just have generic styles and a font family of sans serif. I think sans serif is much better than serif. And let's do the paragraphs and padding. And now to center the heading and the padding, to center the heading and the paragraph, all we need to do is put text align as center, and that's it. The text gets centered. All you need to check out here is that this thing text align center. That's it. Let's see how we can center the stack of elements using flexbox. In the HTML, I'm gonna have 3 divs, 1, 2, and 3 within the body, and in the CSS, I'm gonna give it a generic styling, min height and background image, and each div, I'm gonna style it as well. And I'm using a flexbox for each div to center these things 1, 2, and 3 digits. Now, in order to center these 3 containers, all we need to do is display flex, align item center, center the 3 of them vertically, justify content center to center the 3 of them horizontally, and a gap of 10 pixels, and gap in between them. Now, if you want to stack these elements vertically, all we need to do is flex direction column. Now they're centered, but they're stacked vertically. You can also put column reverse so that now they're stacked vertically but in the reverse order, or you can also use row reverse. Now they are stacked horizontally but in the reverse direction. The default is plain row. Now we have learned how to center a stack of elements using flexbox. Now let's see how to center a stack of elements using a grid. I'm gonna have a body with 3 divs inside it. We're gonna center these 3 divs using grid. I'm giving the body styles as the previous section. And I'm giving divs the styles as the previous section as well. Now, in order to create a grid for the body, we need to give it display of grid, and I'm using 3 cells. When I say grid template columns repeat 3, I'm creating 3 distinct columns, and I'm specifying each column to occupy the maximum space it can using 1 frame. Now, in order to center it, I'm using align content center. What this does is it centers each cell, each column within the body vertically. And justify content center doesn't have any effect here because justify content center centers each grid cell horizontally, but here each cell is occupying the maximum space it can because we are given 1 frame here. Now, align item center doesn't have any effect because the grid is already being centered vertically using align content. There's no more space for it to get aligned. And finally, justify item center centers the container within the grid cell horizontally. So these are our 3 grid cells occupying the maximum space as they can, and the grid itself is being centered vertically using align content. And I'm centering each item within the grid cell horizontally using justify items. We can safely remove align item center and justify content center. It has no effect. And that's it. Now we have centered the stack of elements using grid. Finally, we will see our center a div within the viewport. Have a div and a div within the body. And here I'm giving some generic styles for the body, main height and background image. And for the div, same as in the first section of this video. Now I'm setting the body's position as relative. This is required because any absolutely positioned element can be positioned only within a container whose position is relative. Now I'm giving the div a position of absolute so that it is absolutely positioned within the body, the top of 50% so that it's vertically centered, and the left of 50% so that it's horizontally centered. Now what's happening here is that why isn't it centered? It is not centered because 50% from the top is exactly here and 50% from the left is exactly here. The space being occupied by the div itself is causing it to not center. For that, to fix that, we will need a transform translate 50-50, -50, -50. And now this div is being centered perfectly. Yeah. Remember, position relative for the body and position absolute for the div. And we have centered an absolutely positioned element within the body. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.